start our topic chemical properties of ethanol, which come in chapter number 4 of class 10, carbon and its compound. Okay, now chemical properties of ethanol. Before starting the chemical properties of ethanol, first of all understand from where this ethanol word is derived. Okay, now see student, ethanol. Just look at that ethanol. Let me tell you the root word from which this ethanol word is derived. When there is a two carbon atoms are present, then we use the word it. Or as you know that if one carbon chain is present there, then we use the word mix. If two carbons are there, then we use the word it. When three carbons are there, we use the word prop. When four carbons are there, we use the word with. Similarly, like if prop, with seven carbons, if five carbons are there, then we use the word pen. So similarly, here we use the word ethanol. So it means how many carbons are present here? Two carbons are present here. Now, N means two carbon chain is present here. Okay. Now, N means when you will take the saturated hydrocarbons, that is alkane, then when we'll take a saturated hydrocarbons, alkane chain, alkane member, then we use the word A. You know, in the hydrocarbon, let me tell you, in hydrocarbons, we divide the hydrocarbons into two parts. We divide the hydrocarbons into two parts. Let me tell you that we have divided the hydrocarbons in aliphatic hydrocarbons and aromatic hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons, you know hydrocarbon, what are hydrocarbons? Hydrocarbon, the organic compound which are made up of hydrogen and carbon combination. Because we are studying the carbon and its compound, here we have studied that the organic compound which are made from the combination of hydrogen and carbon are called the hydrocarbons. And hydrocarbons are divided into the two categories, that is aliphatic hydrocarbons and aromatic hydrocarbons. And aliphatic hydrocarbons are further, we can divide it into two parts, that is saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. We divide it into two parts, that is saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. If the carbon-carbon single bond is present, then we can call it belongs to the category of saturated hydrocarbons. Again I am telling, if the carbon atom, if the compound containing the carbon-carbon single bond, if it is made up of carbon-carbon single bond, then we call it saturated hydrocarbon. And we give the specific name for it, that is alkane. If the carbon-carbon single bond is present, then we use the word alkane. And in unsaturated hydrocarbon, when carbon-carbon double bond is present or carbon-carbon triple bond is present, then we call it unsaturated hydrocarbons. In carbon double bond, we give the name alkene. Means those compounds formed with carbon-carbon double bond, you will use the word for this ene. In suffix, you will use the word ene. If you will use the carbon-carbon triple bond, then we will call it alkyne. We use the suffix "-ine" when we will write down the name. Now, here in saturated hydrocarbons, we are talking about, we will use the suffix "-ine". So, similarly, here we have used it, means the members of this. If we will use carbon is present, one carbon we use meth, two carbon is, three carbon prop, with four carbon, five carbon penta, if six hexa, like this hepta, octa, like this the chain further increasing depend on the carbon atom. Now in it, when there is the two carbon atom are there, we will use the it. We have used the word it, and when the I told you N is given there, so it will come in which category? In saturated hydrocarbon. It will come in the saturated hydrocarbon. It is in saturated hydrocarbon, the carbons are attached with the carbon-carbon single bond. That is why we have put it here carbon-carbon single bond. Now we have used the word here all. All we will use when the functional group alcohol will use. When alcohol functional group is present. Alcohol functional group is present, then we use the word, we use the suffix, that is aka all. Okay, so here we have used the all. It means here is when we remove one hydrogen from the alkane. When we remove one hydrogen from the alkane, then we will use the functional group OH, the alcohol functional group, that is we will use OH. For alcohol we use the OH, and then in name when we will write we will use the O. Okay, so here it will remove one hydrogen atom from here with the OH group, will replace with this alcohol functional group, then its name changed into all means ethanol. Like for example, if I am writing this carbon complete its valency with a 4 hydrogen. With 3 hydrogen, one bond it is making from carbon 1, 2, 3. Okay, and one bond is here. So this carbon completed its valency 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 valency completed because you know carbon is a tetravalent. Carbon show the valency 4. Similarly, this carbon will also complete its 4 valency. For one valency it is completed with the carbon and another 3 valency it will complete it with the hydrogen. Now look at that. It completed the 3. It completed their 4 valency with hydrogen. Now, if I will replace this hydrogen, if I will replace one hydrogen with alcohol group, if I will in place of this hydrogen, I will put a alcohol, then it will become a ethanol. Now, look at that. If I will, now this, we are not doing anything. Then we have taken H. Then this, then if I will put instead of substitute and replace this H with OH functional group, now this is called the ethanol. What we call ethanol. Now you have understood what is the formula of ethanol, from where it is derived. You, by seeing the name, you can be identified by what is the root form of this any compound. Now it means 2 carbon. I have taken the 2 carbon. Ane I have used because carbon single bond is present. That is why I have used A. All, for if you have used the alcohol functional group, you have used all. So the name becomes ethanol. First of all, you will write down the number of carbon, or number of carbon we have written it. Single bond we will write down A. Then for that OH group we have used the all. So now the name becomes ethanol. So that is why we have understood the functional, what is the name of the ethanol, that is C2H5OH. Now I am writing down, we have understood the formula of the ethanol also. I am again writing the formula of that. Now what is the formula of the ethanol? CH3 CH2OH. You have seen here, we have completed 3 hydrogen are there. We have completed this hydrogen with 2 hydrogen here, one with this, it's completed its 4 valency. Now 1, 2, 3, say 3 hydrogen, 1 carbon is attached with a 3 carbon, 3 hydrogen, then this second carbon is how many hydrogen? 2 hydrogen and OH group. So its formula becomes CH3 CH2OH, expanding form. And then you will write down, you can write down like this also, C2H5OH. Now this is become ethanol. Okay, this is called ethanol. We have understood the general formula of the ethanol. Now you have understood the ethanol. Before starting the chemical property, I have cleared you. It is very important to understand what is the formula of ethanol. Means the compound which are going to study, the alcohol what we are going to study. It is really very important. First of all, you understand from where this word arrived. Then we will move the further. Now we will talk about the chemical properties of the ethanol. Now, what is the chemical properties of ethanol? Now, before moving to the chemical property, understood what is ethanol. Actually, ethanol, what is ethanol? Ethanol is a liquid. Ethanol is found in the liquid form at room temperature. Room temperature means you have 25 degrees Celsius. That is our room temperature. In room temperature, if you will keep the ethanol, then it will be ethanol will be found in the liquid state. It will found in the liquid state at room temperature. In room temperature, ethanol is found in the liquid state. Okay, student. Now, ethanol is a simple. It is a alcohol. Ethanol is a type of alcohol, and it is used. Alcohol. Ethanol is found in the liquid state. Ethanol is a alcohol because ethanol is soluble in water. It is soluble in water. Now, we can write down ethanol is soluble in water. Ethanol is soluble in water. That is why it is used in many medicines, like in syrup, in the cough, in the tincture of iodine. You can write down in the cough. In cough also use tincture of iodine, which is really used in the wounding. And then it is used in many of the tonics also it is used. So this is called ethanol. Okay, now we have understood. Again I am telling to you what is ethanol. Ethanol have found in the liquid state at room temperature. It is soluble. It is an alcohol. It is a simple alcohol, ethanol, and it is soluble in water. Okay, it is, that is why it is soluble in water. It is used in the cough, in the tonic, in many medicines it is used, and even in the industries also ethanol is used. Okay, in many industrial purpose it is used. Now ethanol is one of the form when you will take in the in pure form of the alcohol. If you will take a pure form of the alcohol, then it is called the absolute ethanol. Absolute ethanol. Means when you will mix, because ethanol is a good solvent. Now here I use the solvent. When alcohol is used, a good solvent in which you can be mix anything. So it is a good solvent. That is why it is used and soluble in water. So definitely it is used in the medicines. If you will take in the pure form ethanol, means you will not add water. If you are not adding water, then it is called the absolute ethanol. It is lethal. It is lethal for your health. If you will take a small quantity of ethanol, in absolute ethanol, then definitely it will cause, it will affect your metabolic process. It will be it will affect your central nervous system. Also, it will cause the many problems in your body. So definitely understand that absolute alcohol is used mostly in the industries, in the medicine. So this is a small idea I have given you. Now, what is the melting point of ethanol? Here you understand the melting point of the ethanol is 156 Kelvin. Now, ethanol is found in 156 is a melting point, and the boiling point is 351 Kelvin is the melting and boiling point of the ethanol. So this we have discussed some of the physical properties of it. Now we'll move to the chemical properties of the ethanol. If you will take ethanol in an absolute alcohol, means without taking water. Okay, absolute alcohol, if you are taking small amount, it will cause you many health problems. Now we'll come to the chemical properties of the ethanol. What are the chemical properties of the ethanol? If you will add, students, if you will add a small amount, if you have taken the, for example, if you have taken the ethanol, I have taken the small test tube. If you have taken, I have taken the small, for example, I have taken the ethanol. Okay, I have taken the ethanol as a solvent form. If I will add in it a small amount, means a small grain, a small amount, a very small amount, like a shape of grain only. If I will take sodium, this is the symbol of sodium, this is called sodium. If I will take sodium and add in the ethanol, then what will happen, student, is after adding a small amount of sodium only, a hydrogen gas is liberate out. Hydrogen gas liberate out from here. And you know very well when the how can you tell the hydrogen gas is liberated out? There, when you will bring the matchstick, on the mouth of this test tube, then it bursts with a pop sound. It indicates that a hydrogen gas is present there, that you have already done. So it means a small amount of sodium when you are adding, then it will give a hydrogen gas, and along with that we will get a one product also, that is sodium ethyl oxide. Now I am writing down the reaction. Look at that, student. I have taken the C2H5, or you can be write down the simple form so that you will. I have taken the sodium, then I have taken the small amount, I have taken the solvent ethanol. Okay, then I will replace this functional group with the sodium. Now sodium will add it here, then I will take, then it will form CH3, CH2. Now it is hydrogen, because hydrogen gas will replace from here. Then in place of here, hydrogen gas will replace in the form of gas. So the product we call, what we call this. This product is called sodium ethyl oxide. The name of this product we call is called the sodium ethyl oxide. Means when you are reacting the sodium with ethanol, then what happened? We are getting one product that is called sodium ethyl oxide along with hydrogen gases liberator. So you have understood, this is the first chemical property of the ethanol. When we are adding the sodium with ethanol, then we are getting the product sodium ethyl oxide and along with the hydrogen gases liberator. Understood, student? Now we will come to the next property of the ethanol. And that is when we will react our ethanol. When we are having CH3, CH2OH, then we will react our ethanol with concentrated H2SO4. When we are reacting with concentrated H2SO4, you know concentrated H2SO4 gives the hydrogen ions. It will give the hydrogen ions. And when we are reacting with 443 Kelvin, when ethanol is reacted with concentrated H2SO4 with 443 Kelvin, then what we get, student? We will get the alkene. We will get an alkene, that is CH. We will get an alkene, that is CH2 double bond CH2, and along with water will go out, because you know it give a hydrogen ions. H2SO4 give hydrogen ion. It will react with this. It will take up OH ions. Then it will complete how, when hydrogen will OH will remove, then how it will complete its valency by adding the double bond. Okay, so we will get a ethene also. So have you understood this? Now we have studied the two chemical properties of ethanol. One property where we add a sodium to the ethanol, we are getting a sodium ethanol oxide plus hydrogen gas is removed. Second property we have understood, when we are adding the ethanol with concentrated H2SO4. Concentrated H2SO4 give a hydrogen ions. It is a dehydrating agent. Remember it, concentrated H2SO4 is a dehydrating agent. Dehydrating agent means which remove the water molecule. Okay, so here we have understood the two properties of ethanol. First of all, and you have to go through that all the two property what we have done. Write down in your copy and note down and practice these to the copy, and further we will study in the next slide.